What's going on? Play that intro, producer, director, wherever you are. What's going on, gentlemen? It's time. Alabama Sports is back on the CTS. And we're bringing there's no other show like this. Well, you know what? There's probably like a couple other shows like this, but not as good as this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Joe Will. Joe, what's going on?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Joey?
I'm living the dream. You know, happy. Talk about Alabama sports.
Sounds good. And then I'm doing good. Beneath me, we got the 5'2" legend, Josh Clacker. Everybody's favorite Twitter personality, Marco Tuscaloosa celebrity. Clack, how you doing?
Oh,
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Clacker, before we get started, can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, I want to make
unfortunately.
Sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah,
I can really see you're janky. See, you're jiving. But here's the thing: you look like you got mayonnaise for skin, so don't even jive. I'm telling you.
Talking about me or him? Who are we talking about?
I'm talking about Joe. Damn,
Joey, I think you're just as pale as I am. At least I have an excuse for being a ginger.
But I'm handsome. Girls be going crazy when they see this. I ain't gonna lie to you. Girls are probably just going crazy right now watching this. The 2 or 3 people watching this right now. I don't know.
Walking out the haters with the shades. I respect it.
That's right. That's right. Clacker. So before we start jiving, how you been?
I've been great. How have y'all been? I'm ready to get some talk some Alabama sports and all of that.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. Basketball. Let's get to
it. Before we get into that, I'd like to take a moment to pay tribute to a good friend of mine who passed away earlier this year. Luke Ratliff was a friend to many, and he was Mr. Alabama basketball himself, and he is dearly missed. And I was blessed myself to call him a friend.
Yeah, man, that was sad. 24 years old when he passed away, it touched me because he was so young and he meant so much to Alabama basketball. And, when you talk about fans, that was a fan. But you did see in the picture, we'll go ahead and tell everybody who's our guest this week. He's going to be coming on later. But the legendary internet sensation Stingray, host of 3rd and 3, is coming on. And he also has his hit show on Facebook, The Stingray Show, and he's going to be coming on talking some Alabama sports. He actually going to be coming here jiving. He's going to come on here and make fun of Alabama, even though we're number 2 in the nation. But when he comes on, we're ready for it. Bring it, motherfucker. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and hit Clacker. You went to the game Tuesday.
I did. That was a fun game. Opening night. Enjoyed it. A dominant win over a good Louisiana Tech team.
And it's something about this show right here, what we do, different from most shows. We're taking you inside the game.
Woo!
Damn! He dunked on him. Oh my god!
Everyone knows we're a basketball school, right?
Yeah, we're definitely a basketball school. I mean, somebody put a poll out on Twitter yesterday. Michael Casagrande. What is Bama more likely to win a national championship in this year? Basketball won that poll, and I firmly believe it. Joe, you're giving me that look, but I mean,
y'all are both
look, but I firmly believe that.
Okay, if you believe Alabama can win a national championship in basketball, I'm all for it. I'm not. It's no secret. I'm not a big college basketball fan, and I'm a big fan of Alabama football. But you know what? I think I can actually watched some games this year, and I don't know. People, it's a lot of hype going on. Joe, you tell me, you think that Alabama could win a national championship in basketball? Florida did it.
I think they're doing all the right things. Nate Oates, this is his third year, correct?
Second
year? Third. Okay, yeah. It's his third year. He's done a great job improving each year. We're killing it in recruiting, but the question is, can these 5-star recruits translate, to this program? And so far, I think they have, but there's plenty of 5-star recruits that don't pan out. And so I would pump the brakes a little bit on the Alabama basketball hype. I like the excitement from the fan base. It's nice to have a basketball team that's, as good as our football team. But I think that fans, might be opening themselves up for some heartbreak. I would just kind of let the season play out. And then, I like to make my decision, my judgment, like halfway through as to where they are and how they stand as a team.
Clacker?
I mean, I agree with Joe with everything he said, but I think this team has potential as any team in the country to win a national championship. And I think, it's all about when you get hot in college basketball. It's not always about, the regular season. You can get in the tournament as a 6 or 7 seed and make a run and win the whole national championship. And I think that this team is a team that can get hot at the right time and can do some dangerous things. They can shoot very well. When you're a team that's shooting 40, 45 threes a game and you're making 13 or 14 of those, you're not going to get beat. And I think this team can do that through the NCAA tournament and win it all. I just don't see us being one of those teams that falls out early. I honestly think the worst after what I've seen. I know this is just one game. If you know me on Twitter, I overreact to things.
Just a little bit. But I think this team is I think the floor is Elite Eight right now. I mean, that's just I'm going to throw that out there. I think the floor is the Elite Eight right now for this team.
Well, before we continue, let everybody know right now. If you want to jump in this conversation, you want to share what your thoughts on Alabama sports, go ahead and comment right now, and we will go ahead and we will let you know. And if you feel like you want to tell us something, you feel like you want to put your input, you go ahead and stop. You go ahead and put a comment down right now, and we will go share trash talk, whatever you want to do. You want to talk about Joe's forehead? Go ahead. You want to talk about Clacker's glasses? Go ahead. You want to talk about how cool the hell I am? Go ahead. We don't care. But as long as you're talking about Alabama football, if Alabama sports, if you come on here with the Auburn crap, Chris, I see you, Chris. I'm just gonna block you, or well, I'm not gonna block Chris, but Clacker's frozen. So there we go. Chris Gray, ladies and gentlemen, he's on it. Since does Alabama have a chance of bearing Auburn?
Like giving birth to them, or what are we talking about? No, actually, Clack, I had a rebuttal to your statement about Alabama making the 3-point shots. That's if we're making them. What was our problem last year towards the end of the year was we struggled in a lot of key games hitting those 3-point shots. And I would like to see this team be less reliant on the 3-point shooting. Obviously, that's like bread and butter. That's what they do well. But I'd like to see them be able to, dominate in multiple different ways. And they did so last night. Obviously, it's a long season, but I liked what I saw last night. And I'm just going to say it. As much as, everybody loves Alex Reese, I'm so glad that Alex Reese is gone because he was the most frustrating individual.
This team has got, and I'm going to take it a step further with I miss John Petty. I miss consistent John Petty, but we were kind of a live or die by Petty team. If John Petty was off and John Petty had 2 points, we typically weren't going to win. I totally agree. This new team is a lot better and it's only going to get better going forward.
Well, I hope it happens. I don't think it's a basketball school, but things change. So let's move on to football. Now, here's the thing. Everybody Everybody's hating. Everybody's talking trash. Everybody wants to comment about their defense, their offense, blah blah blah. And basically, one thing I'm gonna say is we're number 2 in the country. So I don't know why it's not like Alabama's never lost a game before. It's not like we have ever had troubles in the game in the season, and all of a sudden we win national championships. Y'all, come on. This is not new. Joe, what's your take?
I think it's hard with a school like Alabama too, because we're so used to, well, us younger fans, myself included. I know a lot of people were fans when the team wasn't any good, but as long as I've been a fan of Alabama, I'm used to them being good and being in the championship conversation. So when you see them kind of make a little bit of mistakes, everybody's going to jump on them because we're so used to them being this perfect, pristine football team. And I'm not necessarily, for all the hate, but I think some of it is justified. And, we can get into the fact that, the defense gives up a lot of big plays, and the offense with Bill O'Brien, they don't know how to call any plays that are worth a damn. But it's just, I don't listen to Clacker saying, that this team sucks and we're not going to beat Auburn, but at the same time,
I'm just a realist here.
I don't know. Cynical realist.
Hey, before y'all, Chris Gray went on there. Do you think Georgia's defense will stop Georgia's offense?
Do you think Alabama's defense will stop Georgia's offense?
Do you think Alabama's defense can stop Georgia's offense? Yes.
Not enough.
Clacker, you hush.
I'm sorry y'all don't understand the truth. Y'all can't handle the truth.
No.
Wait.
Stingray's gonna be coming on here, and you're gonna be sucking up the Stingray because no. Come on. Are you an Alabama fan?
Being an Alabama fan sometimes means you have to acknowledge the truth.
I acknowledge the truth. Hey, listen, where's Christian Scott? Put Christian Skies up. Christian Skies.
Sights. Joe, you need to take those glasses off, man. You can't see.
I'm just
not listening to me on Twitter, so I had to come on here. Who's Christian Skies, ladies and gentlemen? Come on here talking shit, trash to Clacker. Clacker, you better listen to Christian.
I'm trying. I'm sorry that my opinion is the right one and y'all's is the wrong one.
My team. What you say?
I said I'm sorry. My opinion is the correct one and y'all's is the wrong one.
Well, that's what you see. I state facts. I don't state opinions. See, my fact says Alabama's number 2 team in the nation. We're in the toughest conference. We're in the SEC. When any given Saturday, we just talked about this on the 3rd and 3. Even given Saturday, you can go on the field and you can lose to Florida, LSU, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Georgia.
We're
in a tough conference. And you know what? And no matter what, Clemson. Oh, by the way, Clemson Tom. He heard that you was coming on. He said he can't make it because he had a hospital visit to go to. He said he don't want no Clacker.
Always making excuses.
Was it a hospital visit for the Clemson Tigers? They've been hurting the last couple weeks, man. The whole season, pretty much.
Put Clack at RT. What's RT?
Oh my God, you're a boomer.
What's RT?
There's so many that retweet, right tackle.
Oh, right. Well, right tackle. Okay, put Clack.
I'm just gonna assume it means right tackle.
Well, you can't.
Because our offensive line is okay. Yeah, right tackle. Our offensive line is absolutely horrible.
Alabama shouldn't be in the top 5 the way they're playing, Joester. Man, Chris, go on somewhere. That's my man, Chris, right there.
If Alabama shouldn't be in the top 5, then I'm genuinely curious what the top 5 is, because it's Georgia at the top, and then everyone else. The way the season's gone, it's kind of a crapshoot with the rankings. So I don't really know. There's no perfect teams besides Georgia, and who really knows how perfect Georgia is?
Yeah, that's true. That is Joe makes a very good point.
Hang on, hold on. Can I just want to ask a question for both of y'all.
I want to ask where you got the glasses.
I want to ask about your internet, man. You're frozen half the time.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's just me.
Get off the front porch. You're doing a professional show and you're on the front porch.
Okay, so
outside the Motel 6 or something.
Yeah. So
Motel 8. I don't even know.
We haven't beaten Auburn in Auburn since 2015. Wait, yeah, 2015 was the last time we won in Auburn.
Okay, so what's got to do?
This is the worst Saban team we've had since 2010.
Oh,
do y'all really think this? Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
No, I'm not wrong.
This the number 2 in the country.
But saying it's the worst Saban team is like ridiculous because
I didn't say the worst Saban team. I said since 2010.
Okay, but how many championships have we won since then? So, like, that's my point. Is the standard is so high, we're sitting here nitpicking every little thing.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Is this really the team? Is this really the team that's gonna beat? That's gonna snap the losing streak in Auburn? Is this team that team? No.
My buddy
Crazier
Chris
things have happened.
Look, we got Auburn fans in the house right now talking the same crap you're talking. Right, Chris Gray's right here talking the same crap you're talking, and you're an Auburn fan. You're an Auburn fan. You need to stop. You need to stop belittling Alabama and start praising Alabama for being number 2 in the country and celebrate the fact we're number 2. We're going to beat New Mexico. We're going to beat Auburn. We're going to beat Georgia. We're going to beat the 2 teams we play in the playoffs. And then we're going to celebrate the Natty.
Okay, so the game was okay. So Christian, going on what Christian said, that game was in College Station. We're playing in Auburn. We have not won there since 2015. This team does not have the capability, I don't think, right now.
Director, put that up. Number 2, Christian. Go ahead. Christian's talking facts. He's talking those facts. Clacker, go ahead.
I just like what. Okay, if you say that we can beat that team that beats Auburn in Auburn for the first time since 15, like who's going to be the X factor and do it? Give me a player that's going to be the X factor in doing that. I want a player name other than Bryce Young.
Hang on. Road Tide, Mike Sanders. Mike gave me a Road Tide. Who give you a player? The whole offensive line, the whole defensive line, the whole quarterback, the running back.
The offensive line. Will Anderson.
Look, Christian beat me to it.
No, it's not even a player that's X factor. You know who the X factor is? Bill freaking O'Brien. If he can pull his head out of his own butt and learn how to call an offense that's not tailored towards the NFL. The problem with Bill O'Brien is he's so used to calling plays in the NFL, and with the way the NFL works is the play calling is a lot more conservative than in college football. So if Bill O'Brien can pull his head out of his butt and realize that he's at the college level with an Heisman candidate quarterback and a offense tailored with just amazing players, if he can call plays that tailor towards his athletes, I think we'll be fine. You know, I mean, Bryce Young has looked very great this year as a quarterback, you know, and I know people have been kind of, you know, not fans of the way he's played in some games, but it's on Bill O'Brien. It's all on Bill O'Brien. And then on defense, it's on Pete Golding. And Pete Golding's been a lot better this year than Bill O'Brien has been at calling plays. But at the same time, you know, it's about the coordinators. It's not about the players. It's about the coordinators and the plays.
Well, I tell you that right now. First, our Christian said fire Bob.
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. I know. Shit.
Well, you didn't know what RT was, so
man, I thought it was like put Clacker at Roll Tide. Put right tackle. Bo Nick. Chris Graves put Bo Nix sends Texas to the SEC championship game after beating Alabama this year. I didn't know Texas played in
Texas A&M. Texas A&M.
Well, he put Texas.
That's
an Auburn fan for you.
I know what Joe just said.
Well, before we get to our guests, Clacker, what do we need to do to go straight to the national championship?
I think there's 2 X factors. I think one, Bill O'Brien's play calling is going to get better, and I think something that Joe didn't mention here, our offensive line's got to get better. If the offensive line gets better, the play calling will improve by default, because it's not always the fact that the play call is bad. It's the fact that the offensive line is so bad. Bryce Young is running for his life, and we can't even get a playoff because of the offensive line. If the offensive line and the play calling improves, I think anything can happen, because the defense has showed it can be good at times. But again, it's just all about what defense it's just about all, you never know what defense you're going to get. The defense against Ole Miss could beat anybody. The defense against Texas A&M couldn't beat a Division II team.
Christian Skies put, "Don't you start Joe Will. Put Golden slander will not be tolerated." I hear you. I like Christian.
Okay.
Christian, I like you, man. And we got Chris Gray. The Iron Bowl will come down to the experienced quarterback. So no Knicks will win the game. Bo, he said no Knicks. I love some Chris Gray, y'all. He's an Auburn fan, but I love him. I love him to death. Alabama defense and offense is terrible. So, Joe, what do you think we got to do, man?
I mean, I don't want to like beat a dead horse here, but it's about the coaching. I think the coaches need to come together and come with a better game plan. I mean, Clack, you talked about the offensive line. I mean, we've got a bunch of really great guys on that offensive line. So I don't know what Doug Marrone is teaching them in practice, but there you go, another NFL guy. I don't like these NFL coaches that are coming back to the college level and taking their
Rivera.
What?
Let's get Ron Rivera.
No, God, no.
I'm just saying that just a reaction, Joe.
I don't need these conservative NFL coaches coming to Alabama and deciding, they want to do this way when we've been doing it a certain way. So it's squarely about coaching. I mean, obviously, the athletes are out there. They're the ones supposedly making the plays, but the coaches need to do a better job of putting the athletes in position to make the plays.
Well, Christian said we hired the Jaguars offensive line coach. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we hired a Louisiana frat boy to be our defensive coordinator. So,
Clacker. I think you need to start listening to some Christian Skies, man.
Is it not
Chris Gray and Christian
stupid?
Skies and Mike Sanders? They know where the show is at, and you need to start listening to them. See the experience.
It says Sykes, right? I'm not crazy.
It does say
Skies. Joey,
I can't see.
Get your glasses fixed, man.
Joey's got worse eyes than me.
No, I'm wearing
Joey's
sunglasses.
old. Joey's an old man.
Yeah, I'm an old man. So you're like young and got like windshield wipers for glasses. Good Lord. I can. I mean, damn. Clacker, what the? I mean, you go out walking, then motherfuckers be like, so you can see. I hear you. All right, y'all ready for our first guest? Like Rhonda Skies.
You're just not going to say it right, are you?
Rhonda Skies. Well, I can't read. Fuck it. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all ready for our first guest?
You're gonna scare all of our viewers away by mispronouncing their names, Joey. We don't only have two. We only have a couple of them too.
Y'all ready for our first guest?
I am. I'm ready to bring it.
All right. Hey, before we get, just like Nick said, when they start giving player endorsement, they screwed them up. Look at Alabama now. We're number 2 in the nation. Chris, we're number 2 in the nation. Is Auburn ranked like what, number 15?
You're really going on this number 2 in the nation.
The only team we lost to was Texas A&M, and they're ranked 11th.
We lost to one team, Texas A&M.
Yeah, and they're ranked 11th. So, I mean, don't we have a really good strength of schedule, too?
Yes,
so it's not like
I mean, I agree. But, I mean, the number 2 in the nation means nothing.
What do you want Alabama to do, Clocker? What do you want to do? They're winning.
Being number 2 means nothing until the end of the season.
Did they beat LSU?
A very bad LSU team by 6 points.
Did they beat Florida?
A very bad Florida team by 2 points.
They beat New Mexico State. They are winning.
Well, anybody can beat you and Joe. You and Joe and Stingray can beat you.
They lost one freaking game. One freaking game.
Okay, I agree, but quit hyping up the number 2 ranking until you see if we can hold on to it through the end of the season.
You don't want mad that they're number 2. Talking about they suck.
I'm not mad, but let's prove it. Let's.
Hey, look, we're number 2, but we suck.
Yeah, but you're acting like
this is the worst Nick Saban team in 10 years.
You're acting like it's the end of the season and we're number 2. If it was the end of the season and we're coming playoffs time, then we're number 2. That's great. But
look,
this is what I'm saying.
This is what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and get it straight, so we have no misunderstanding.
Okay.
We're gonna beat New Mexico State. We're gonna beat Auburn. We're gonna beat Georgia in the SEC championship. We're going to the playoffs, and we're gonna beat the 2 teams in the playoffs to win the national championship. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying right now we're number 2 in the nation.
So we're just gonna skip the Arkansas game.
Beat us. Georgia's not gonna beat us. I got faith in my team. You should have faith in your team. Roll Tide. Let's go ahead and introduce our first guest. Ladies and gentlemen, internet sensation, one of the greatest hosts of all CTS. He got his own show on the Stingray Show on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Stingray. Stingray,
Woo!
how you doing?
What's going on, guys?
Why am I the only one clapping?
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all?
Sting, what you been up to, man?
Not much, buddy. Just been watching you guys, and I got to tell you, this is an amazing show. So congratulations.
Hey, well, let's go ahead and let's break the third wall. You the one that came up with it. It's not like it's not like he thinks this is amazing because this is the one he came up with. He's like,
it has to be
Joey,
amazing. There's no other
Joey,
choice.
we should do a live show. No, we shouldn't. Yes, we should. I guess we're doing a live show. Here we are.
Yep. So, Joey, I do want to talk to you, though, because I feel like that you were interrupting me on 3rd and 3 the other night.
No,
I have to agree with Clack here a little bit. Alabama is a good football team. They're not great, and they're not an exceptional football team. Now, yes, last year they were arguably the best team that's ever taken the field. However, let me throw this stat at you, Joey. In 9 games, Alabama's offensive line has given up, get this, 22 sacks. Now, let me also throw something at you. Against a depleted LSU defense, Alabama rushed for the lowest rushing total since the 1940s and gained 6 rushing yards this past weekend against a second and third string LSU defense. The offensive line has got major issues, and I think Clacker is a true Bama fan because he can see, okay, yes, we were winning. We're number 2 in the country, but we have issues at certain places. And one of the things that's really going to hurt Alabama going to Auburn and then in the SEC championship game is in this day in college football, you cannot be one-dimensional. You've got to be able to run the ball and eat the clock, and Alabama just cannot do that right now.
Did I interrupt you this time?
No.
Okay. So let me retort. You're looking to the past. Okay? Let's look to the future. We got 4 games. We got 4 games we're going to win. Are we playing Arkansas this year?
Yes.
When we playing?
Next week.
Next week?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we got Cynthia Nelson on here. But the director needs to start showing these things. I hate losing to a bad team, knowing Alabama has the better head coach and more talented players. But we could very well lose to anybody this year, including Auburn. Mm-hmm. Yes, the team that could only score 3 against Texas A&M, 10 points against Georgia, barely beat LSU by 5 points, in Georgia by 10. It would be one of our more embarrassing losses of the year, even though we are down this year. What's your input on that?
I agree with that.
I agree. I mean, she's not wrong.
Clacker, you look sad.
I'm fine. I'm just pointing out that, I mean, she's not wrong. We could very likely lose to Auburn.
Well, Chris Gray said so. Like he said, Auburn will beat Alabama.
Well, one of the things I would also like to point out, and I think Clack is getting on this, is when Alabama faces up against a good defensive line, that's where the struggles have come against Mississippi State and other teams that really aren't that well on the line. Alabama dominated, but against Texas A&M, who has a veteran defense, and of course LSU, and then the Florida defensive line is stout. That's where Alabama has issues, and Georgia has one of the arguably the best defensive players in the country on their defensive line. And then, of course, Auburn has a decent defensive line down there as well.
Well, Cynthia makes a good point right here. The fact that we struggle with LSU is a problem. Now LSU completely changed the base defense, but the lack of adjustments for the offense is noticeable. But look, what I'm trying to say to Clacker and Stingray, and Joe just sitting there looking pretty. I'm just saying, look, have faith in your Alabama team. We've been here before. It's not the first time. But keep in mind that we're only lost one game. In 2012, we lost to Texas A&M and we won a national championship. Okay.
Yes.
This is something not new. We lose games before and we lost to LSU and went back and beat them. I mean, come on.
Yes, but here's the deal. All of those times that you were saying the offensive line did not give up 22 sacks coming into this.
Nick and Cynthia said Nick Saban still has major concerns with the team. He said tonight, Christian. But listen, let me ask all three of y'all something. Starting with Clacker, if there's one coach that can fix anything, isn't it Nick Saban?
Yes, it is.
It depends on the offensive coordinator, though.
It depends on the head coach. Oh, thank you. I heard a beep because I just made some sense.
Also, you brought up the point earlier that
I see you, Chris Gray. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was just gonna say that this team, I feel like, hasn't really gotten their team chemistry together. I mean, we lost Mac Jones, we lost Devontae Smith, we lost all these guys. So it's not crazy to think that they're going to struggle on the offensive line too. You lost Alex Leatherwood.
Yes.
You lost Landon Dickerson. Like, these are very important players. And I mean, a lot of these players are young, and then some have been here for a while, but this is the first time that they're actually, starting for Alabama. And that's a tall task. I mean, offensive line struggled against LSU this week, but you brought up the point that they're second, third stringers, in the secondary, but they still have a lot of big studs along that defensive line. So I'm not going to hate on this team because they haven't been able to find their synergy just yet. I mean, obviously it's November, and they need to find it sooner rather than later with Auburn coming up, and presumably you play Georgia. But I think this team still has a lot of potential. They just need to kind of learn how to come together as a group and be cohesive.
Hey, Clyde.
They're still trying to do that.
What?
You can't. I mean, what everything Joe said was right, and that goes into why I think we lose to Auburn. You can't go into Auburn and suddenly, which is probably one of the toughest places in the SEC to play. You can't just go into Auburn and suddenly start clicking. That ain't gonna happen.
But technically, if I'm going to side with Joey here, you've got 2 weeks to make it up, because Arkansas is not the same team they were when they took on Texas at the beginning of the year.
Texas is not a good team.
So Arkansas is
They had to get that monkey off their back.
You what now?
I said they had to get that monkey off their back.
I know. So, I mean, Alabama's got 2 weeks to do it, but time will tell.
All right. Clacker, do you want to give the closing comments?
I think it's possible. I think Nick Saban's the best coach in the country, so I think it's doable.
You think
But
he's the
it's
best
going to
coach
take
in the
a lot
country?
of work.
You think he's the best coach in the country?
I know he's the best coach in the country.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why Clacker is on the CTS, ladies and gentlemen.
But I mean, just because he's the best coach in the country doesn't mean he's not going to lose sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, it's like we're acting like I feel like you're acting like just because he's Nick Saban, that means he's going to automatically just fix this.
I'm not acting like that's possible. I'm telling you that's possible.
It's possible, but it's possible. Okay, let me ask you this. We're going to go down another rabbit hole, I guess.
Believe it or not, Arkansas will beat Alabama. Okay. Chris.
I'm not going to acknowledge that, but what have y'all seen in the past 9 weeks that makes you think it's going to suddenly change in the next 3 weeks?
What the same thing I've saw in the last 14 years? 7. How many national championships Nick Saban won with Alabama? 6.
6.
6. in 14 years? How many times have we been contenders in those 14 years?
I think 11 would be my guess. I think it's 11.
Okay, yeah, his first year, and then the 2010 year.
No, but like Christian says, you can't compare history to certain day. It's just current day.
I'm saying that Nick Saban's resume says that he can make a change, man.
But this is a different group of players, though.
Hey, Clark, let me ask you this. Let me just ask you this, man. I understand you talking stats and statistics like Stingray, and we gotta finish up with Stingray. But I'm gonna ask you this. I understand you. Everything that you're saying is true, and I'm not disregarding that. I'm just saying. I was arguing with an old man talking about in the last 40, 50 years. Are you going to be the one celebrating when Alabama wins a national championship? Yes or no?
I'm going to celebrate if we win it, but I'm also realistic and realize we may not win.
Okay, I'm not telling you to go gamble on Alabama. I'm not telling you to go bet on them. I'm just telling you to have a little bit of faith in Alabama. Have a little faith in Alabama and believe
I have faith, but there's also
just trying to get to the next.
There's a thing you're obviously not familiar with called reality.
Alabama
I realize reality.
I go. This man's a comedian. Alabama's just trying to get to the next year. Alabama will play in the backyard bowl.
I agree. I agree. Being Alabama should not be the team's identity. They should have an actual identity, and they don't have one yet.
You saw that too. Read that one because my sunglasses are getting fogged up. Vita Gray. This is Shane. This is Shane Gray. Alabama going to Auburn this year. They going to beat them all the way, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Clacker, that's the fan that you need to beat, man. Just have faith. I understand you want to talk
stats. The Bammers are out, man, in full force.
The Bammers are out, man. Come on, Clack. You got to join the club, man. Join the club against Chris says going to the backyard bowl against Central High School.
I'm not this Bama fan that gets up every morning and thinks that we're going to win every game. I realize that sometimes we're not the best team. I mean, that's
okay. I understand that, but I'm saying that we are because we're Alabama.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Joe, can you back me up on that?
I'm just going to say Roll Tide. I mean,
you're going to sit there and look like Eminem. You look like a redhead Eminem. Are you going to start rapping?
What? Doesn't even make any sense.
It does. You can see your picture.
No, I just want to
hanging down. You look like you're going to bust a rap.
Maybe I will. Who knows? You keep talking about Alabama like they're untouchable.
Okay. All right, Stingray. Look, man. Let's talk about 3rd and 3 in the Stingray show. All right. So before we get started, let's talk about the good show, the Stingray show. So what's the news with the Stingray show? Are we going to see it again on Facebook?
Yeah, trying to get internet worked out, and as you can see, internet is good. So hopefully we will have our first show in over a month this time next week, and we're actually going to try to do it either Monday or Wednesday night on Facebook. It's either going to be on my Facebook page and then, of course, on my Twitter as well. And then, of course, obviously, you and I right up there have the 3rd and 3 show, which has really come on strong because obviously we've got Clemson Tom, the Clemson sensation, myself, and then, of course, Joey up there who likes to talk trash about Alabama and Clemson. So,
well, you know, Clacker was actually on the show last week.
Yes.
Clacker, he co-host. What was your experience on 3rd and 3, Clacker?
I enjoyed it. Other than I don't know if it was on 3rd and 3 or either on our live or whatever we did Saturday night. Clemson Tom and his ramblings. Other than that, it was great.
I never forget when Clark and I said University of Georgia was the best defense preseason. Okay.
I think a lot of people said that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still think
Georgia always has a good defense. I mean,
actually, correction. Joey and Clemson Tom both called me out and said it was going to be Alabama and Florida in the SEC championship game. Now, how many losses does Florida have?
But you know why we said that? Clack is going to love this. Clack. put your tears away and listen. We watched the Alabama game against Florida, and we saw how Alabama believing that Alabama was so dominant, struggling against Florida. So we assumed that Florida was going to be a contender. Now, because I'm talking out of emotion and not with statistics and facts, you see that Florida's not that good of a team. And that's why you're sitting there saying that Alabama's not a good team this year. That's why you're sitting there saying that Georgia would beat us in the SEC championship. All I'm saying is no matter what happens, Alabama's going to be my team. And I'm going to be cheering hard for them. And I'm going to have faith that they're going to bounce back. Jesus Christ loves me.
We're all going to cheer for them. Doesn't mean they're going to win.
I'm going to have faith. I guess you don't know what faith is.
Hey,
Joe, go ahead.
That's how you don't know what reality is.
I'm going to make a prediction right now. I agree with Clacker. That team that I just showed is going to beat Alabama. And Joey, you're really going to hate me. But this little team right here, the little
man,
brother,
get that thing out of here.
The little brother
we will
is going to beat Alabama.
My ass is going to be
Here's
Alabama.
The thing. We can sit here and debate about this and talk about it all we want, but we won't know until they actually step foot on the field. So all of this is we're just spewing nonsense.
About 4 people who never played college football.
Yeah, 4 idiots on here debating.
Well, Stingray ain't no idiot.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
2 idiots. Joe Bill and Clacker. On this side.
1 idiot, just Joey. Anyways,
ever since you started that rap career, you became smart. All right. So listen, Stingray, it was a pleasure having you on as our first guest, man. We love you, man. I'm gonna say this, and I mean this a lot. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a CTS. We wouldn't have a YouTube page. You have done so much for not just for me, but just for the whole channel, and we love you. And I know something that a lot of people don't know, and I'm your biggest supporter, and I can't wait when all your dreams come true. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the biggest internet sensation.
Got one thing I want to say before I leave, please.
You messed up that great outro. Go ahead.
Okay, I have dogged Alabama enough. Before I leave, you guys are going to love me again because I'm actually going to make one bold prediction about this upcoming weekend, and it is simply this. Auburn struggled down at A&M. They only scored 3 points. Bo Nix was atrocious. I'm calling it right now. This Saturday at 11 a.m., the Bulldog Nation and Mike Leach walk into Jordan-Hare and pull a major upset. I'm going the Bulldog Cowbell Nation on the road Saturday.
All right.
That ain't happening.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
You messed up that nice outro, sending you off for that crap. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest internet sensation of all time, the one and only Stingray. Stingray, we catch you later, man.
Appreciate having you, Sting.
All right, so Clacker, let's go ahead and let's talk, man. Why you seem upset? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm just kind of sitting here thinking about the rest of the season. I hope that you're right. I hope you're right on how it plays out, but unfortunately,
what?
I'm going to be right. I'm always right, so I think I'm going to be right again.
Oh, you want to be right about Alabama?
I don't want to be right, but I'm always right. So,
somebody who has a reputation for being wrong on Twitter is saying they're always right. Maybe it's good that Clack's talking bad about Alabama. Maybe it's like it's the opposite, and it's reverse psychology, and we'll be great the rest of the year. Who really knows?
Before we finish, man, my man Chris Gray, he's a friend of mine. He wants me to go ahead and give a shout out to his business. If you live in the Phoenix City, Columbus, Smith Station area, that's over there on the East Coast. He does a little company called Gray's Home Solutions. He can fix anything I mean, if you want to do plumbing, concrete, sheetrock, you want to fix your family life. I don't know.
Can he fix Alabama?
He can fix Alabama, but he's an Auburn fan. But go ahead and look on Facebook, Gray's Home Solutions. And I'm telling you, man, this guy, he can fix anything. And if you want it fixed, go check it out. And he's not even paying me to say that. So, matter of fact, we were looking for sponsors. Go ahead and Clacker, get off the phone. We're about to talk about the games of the week.
I'm ready for that. That's what I'm ready for.
All right. So, Joe, introduce this segment right here, man. Go ahead. Wrap it, though. I want you to wrap it.
Introduce it. What do you want me to say? So we're just going to talk about the upcoming games this weekend.
Oh, God.
Well, we never. What is there to introduce?
Never mind, man. Look, go work on your next album. Listen, what we're going to talk about right now is well, Clacker, you don't want to talk about it. What the hell are you talking about? Game of the week. The game that
game of the week. My game of the week: Ole Miss and A&M.
Ole Miss and A&M. All right. So
I think Ole Miss takes care of the Aggies, and which would be huge for Alabama because then a win against Arkansas walks us in the SEC championship. So, but I think Ole Miss takes care of the Aggies in Oxford this weekend, and I think Georgia and Tennessee is going to be closer than we think, but Georgia's going to win it.
Joe?
Do I have to go off of that, or can I do my own game of the week?
We are live. Be professional. Jesus loves me. Come on. Just talk.
Okay, well, my game of the week, I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to go with Penn State versus Michigan. Penn State is ranked 23, and Michigan is ranked, what are they ranked, 6 or something ridiculous? So, I know, had this game be playing, if it was being played in Michigan, I would say that there's no shot Penn State wins, but I think that Penn State, their offense, who was struggling the last couple of weeks, has kind of, found their groove. They have Jahan Dotson, who's one of the best receivers in college football. He had 200 yards last week. I mean, it was against Maryland, and Maryland sucks. But I think Penn State gets the job done this week, and they beat Michigan. And I can't wait to see the look on Harbaugh's face when he loses and they fall out of the top 10.
Well, besides watching the Alabama game, I'm actually looking forward to the Georgia-Tennessee game. So that's going to be a good game right there. I think Georgia will beat Tennessee, but, I think Tennessee will hold up a little bit, just a little bit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our first show for tonight. More to come. Clacker, you want to go ahead and tell us who we got next week?
Are we doing football or basketball now? You just said who. We got multiple.
Who's our next guest, Clacker?
You gotta specify these things. I mean,
Joe Will, do you know our next guest next week? Clacker?
I know who our next guest is.
Okay, say it. Who's our next guest next week?
Next week for our guest, we will have the one and only, the legend, former Alabama basketball coach, Wimp Sanderson will be on the show next week.
Well, there we go. I told you we're going to have former players, former coaches, current players. We're going to have some people on here, man. This is necessary. I'm telling you right now, as this show grows, we're going to be the number one Alabama show of all Alabama shows. There's no Alabama show. What, Joe?
Number one. I'm saying number one.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was pointing up.
Yeah, I was like, hey, 1 second.
Praise the Lord, man.
My album's going to drop December 15th. 1 second. Can we drop it? Yeah. Listen.
I thought he was pointing up.
Listen, this has been a fun show, but listen, go on the CTS Facebook page, go on the YouTube page, CTS Interview Room, go subscribe, go on Clacker's YouTube page, follow him on Twitter.
I don't have a YouTube page. All I've got is Twitter.
I'm sorry. Go on Clacker's Twitter page and follow him.
If you like bad takes.
And Joe Will's on Twitter and Facebook. So is Joe. Clacker's on Facebook. Myself, CTS Interview Room on YouTube. Subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Go to Rolling with the Tat on Twitter. Follow us there. It's a brand new page. We're still growing. And please go and check out Stingray and the Stingray Show on the Facebook page because he's got a great show. He's got his co-host Heath. I forgot his last name. But it's a good show. And check us out on 3rd and 3 in the main event with one more Sanchez on the CTS interview room. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun, but we got to go. Joe, Will, Clocker, say bye to your family and friends.
Bye, y'all.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
And thank you for rolling with the Tide. See y'all next week.